That was on a mute. That's mute.
Oh, is it?
Is thy faithfulness, morning by morning.
So that's to unmute it. It's a generator. Must it have power? Must it be powered? Isn't there enough battery power on it?
No, but it's been. I plugged it in.
Isn't there enough battery power? You need to have it on the electricity. That's what
What's wrong with the electricity?
I don't know. The generator is anyway, it's up to you.
Well, you finish your conversation with.
I don't know. I told you, I think it's unmuted. I don't know. I'm saying that I think maybe the power.
I haven't touched it.
I'm saying that maybe because it is switched on to the generator.
Okay.
So what happens to those
Yes.
Meanwhile, the main reason I called you, some Tony has been the FSI leader.
No, I don't want to speak. They could be speaking.
They are muted themselves.
And because
Speaking. But they are muted.
only one person is supposed to be speaking. Only one person is supposed to be.
Honorable Treasurer of the Institute, Chief Oya Kinsuri, no particular order, so the immediate past President of the Institutional Accountants of Nigeria, Alhaji Razak Jayola, FCA. Council members here present in no particular order. Oluwatobi Abiola, FCA. Air Vice Marshal Abubakar Adamu, FCA. Alhaji Lola Akibayo, FCA. Chief Davidson CS Alaribe, FCA. Chibuzo Noel Ainichi, FCA. Honorable Dr. Adedeji Awobutu, FCA. Mrs. Felicia Aino Bamboshe, FCA, who doubles as the chairperson of Society of Women Accountants of Nigeria, SWAN. Chidime Okoro, FCA. Samson Adewale Disu, Reverend, FCA. Jude Seniako, FCA. Omehe Tagadafi, Kuala FCA. Nasru Muhammad, FCA. Sylvester Wana, FCA. Navy Commodore Gordon Obaje, FCA. Sean Odoringen, FCA. Olutola Gundipe, FCA. Ngozi Monica Okongo, FCA. Dr. Innocent Okosa, FCA. Jamil Olabison, FCA. Tajuddin Olayinka, FCA. Etofulam Suji, M9, FCA. Hilda Ozo, FCA. Quincy Sofra Shogosime, M9, FCA. Aruna Yahya, M9, FCA. Our past presidents start with joining the accountants. Mr. Akintola Williams, CFR, FCA, was the president 1960 to 1962. Chief Alibaba, FCA, president 1972 to 1973. Mr. COO, General MFR, FCA, president 1976-1977. Chief Dr. A.A. Ali, MON, FCA, 1977-1978. Chief Author, C. Mbanfo, MFR, FCA, President 1978-1979. Prince J.A. Adebayo, FCA, President 1979-1980. Mr. D.B.O. Ogutuga, FCA, President 1983-1984. Mr. Ayo Oni, FCA, President 1990-1991. Madam Ismaila Usman, FCA, President 1993-1994. High Chief Sir Oguntimehin, OON, FCA, President 1995-1996. Mr. Manuel Jewelry, FCA, President 1996-1997. Princess A.A. Abenron, FCA, President 1997-1998. Sir Ike Wakolo, OFR, FCA, President 1998-1999. Chief A.O. Badojo, FCA, President 1999-2000. Sir H.A. Abibi, FCA, President 2000-2001. Senator Chief F.K. Bajomo, FCA, President 2002-2003. Bashirun J.K. Randall, FCA, President 2003-2004. Mrs. I.M. Oshiemi, FCA, President 2004-2005. Otumba ALA OAME FCA, President 2005-2006. Dr. Mrs. C.A. Obarake, FCA, FCA, President 2006-2007. Chief Dr. R.U. Uche, FCA, President 2008-2009. Chief Mrs. Elizabeth O. Adegite, FCA, President 2009-2010. Major General S.A. Owama, FCA, President 2010-2011. Professor Francis Ojaide, OON, FCA, President 2011-2012. Mr. Edwin Oolabi, FCA, President 2012-2013. Alhaji Kabir Al-Khali Mahmoud Emina, FCA, Emina OFR, FCA, President 2013-2014. Mr. Chidi O. Ajebo, FCA, President 2014-2015. Otumba Rumi, FCA, President 2015-2016. Titus Shorten, FCA, President 2016-2017. Alam Ismaila M. Zakari, MNI, FCA, President 2017-2018. Alhaji Razak Jawala, FCA, President 2018-2019. Permit me to go ahead to recognize some of the dignitaries that have joined us on this Zoom platform. Start with the pastoral trust. I have Mr. George M. Kofi, FCA. Mr. Philip Omorede, FCA. Mr. Oluwatoyin Adepati, FCA. Mr. Rotimi Omotosho, FCA. And Mr. John I. Obodade, FCA. List of dignitaries here present. I have Mr. Nebole Ara, former MD, Chief Executive of Fidelis Bank. Mr. Reginald Ikechia, former MD, Chief Executive of Fidelity Bank also. Mr. Namdi Okonko, MD, CEO of Fidelity Bank. Chief Christopher Eze, Chairman, John Hall PLC. Major General Colonel Mrs. Victor Odeka, Dr. and Mrs. Ebun Sonaya. I also have Dr. Paul Owe. We also have Ibn Patrick Imarana. I also have Mr. Rotimi Babolala, Chairman, LUR. I also have Alhaji Aliko Dangote, Chairman Dangote Group. I also have Mr. Dr. Suleiman, Chairman FRC. Alhaji Mohammed Nami, Chairman Federal Revenue Service. The Executive Chairman of the West State Internal Revenue Service. I also have the Vice Chancellor in University of Benin, Professor Eli Salami. Maybe to also recognize Venerable Colonel Abolale and Lieutenant Colonel Venerable Dabo. Also have the President of CIBN, Mr. Bayo. Also Mr. Rabiu Olowo of the Lagos State, Honorable Commissioner, Lagos State, Commissioner of Finance of Lagos State. Mrs. Rebecca. Other distinguished guests, to the President of APPM, Mr. Alade Ajibola, the President of ABWA, the country's senior partner, West Africa of PwC, Mr. Uyapata, the CEO of Village Nigeria, Mr. Fatai Kolari, I also have Mr. Gabriel Idahosa of UHY Margie & Co. And I also have the managing partner of KPMG, Mr. Kunle Village, and also the senior partner of ICAN-ngr, Mr. Henry Bekin. Also here present, we have presidents and registrars of Association of National Accountants of Nigeria, ANAN, Chartered Institute of Bankers, CIBN, Chartered Institute of Taxation of Nigeria, CITN. Also, here present are chairmen and secretaries of district societies. They are all recognized. And permit me to also recognize special people, the immediate family of our incoming president. We start with Adeyemi Adeoye, who is the husband to the incoming president. He's here with us in this hall. I also have Mrs. Phil Abdullahi, also here in this hall. I also have Mr. Mohammed Abdullahi and Miss Orelo Olaru. And we have Mr. Cyril Obude, our engineer Opus Massa, Mr. Julius Okoro, Mr. Emmanuel Olaru, they are present. I also have of our incoming who is joining us in Zoom, sisters who are out for the country. I have our mom, Mrs. Reke, siblings, Barrister Mrs. Florence Wogu, Mrs. Tina Obedebe, and Dr. Stella Ome. They are all siblings of the incoming out of the country joining us via the platform. Permit me to also recognize our distinguished members of the Institute who are also watching us via the YouTube. Distinguished members of the press, ladies and gentlemen, good morning. Permit me to start the program in earnest. Mr. President, the President of the Institute of Accountants of Nigeria, I will now hand over the mic to you, sir, to present your valedictory speech, sir. Mr. President. permit to start the program in earnest.
Your Excellency, the Executive Governor of Lagos State,
Mr. President,
Babajide
President of the Institute of Accountants of Nigeria, I will now hand over the mic to you, sir. Present your valedictory speech, sir. Mr. President.
Your Excellency, the Executive Governor of Lagos State, Your Excellency, the Executive Governor of Lagos State, Babajide
President of the Institute of Accountants of Nigeria.
Distinguished members of the my Lord, the 56th President of ICAN-ngr, Your Excellency, the Executive Governor of Lagos State, Your Excellency, of Lagos State, the Outgoing Council, 56 President ICAN members here. Your Excellency, the Executive Governor of Lagos State, Babajide Sanwo-Olu, His Excellency, the Executive Governor of Delta State, Senator Dr. Ifeanyi Okowa, and his distinguished members of the Delta State Executive Council. My Lord, spiritual and temporal, the incoming 56th President of ICAN-ngr, Nomejoy Adewi, BAC, FCA, the Chairman Body of Past Presidents, Mr. Emmanuel Ijewere, FCA, other past presidents here present, the First Deputy Vice President of ICAN, Mrs. Comfort Eyitayo, FCA, MNI, the Second Deputy Vice President, Alhaji Tijani, FCA, Governing Council of ICAN members here present, Registrar Chief Executive of ICAN, Professor Ahmed FCA, distinguished professional colleagues, gentlemen of the press, ladies and gentlemen. We are grateful to the Almighty God for His protection over the lives of members of our great institute, the Institute of Chartered Accountants of Nigeria and Nigerians as a whole. Since the outbreak of the novel coronavirus, COVID-19, we have all been extremely challenged individually and collectively. In all, the crisis have elicited the creativity and ingenuity in us as chartered accountants and professionals. This investiture program is one of the ways it is instructive that in the 55 years history of ICAN, this is the first time we are deploying an online channel to hold investiture program. This is telling of the fact that the global community is witnessing. We have demonstrated our resilience in adjusting to emerging trends. The outgoing presidential year enjoyed the enormous support of our 50,000 members of our great institute. We were encouraged by members when the challenges appeared almost insurmountable. As the COVID-19 compelled us to adjust some of our programs, our esteemed members demonstrated their uncommon understanding and accepted the changes even at very short notices. I wish to give appreciation to the revered body of past presidents of ICAN for their constant words of admonition. They availed us their rich experiences as we focus on sustaining ICAN as a truly global professional body. The humble achievements in the course of the year were the result of collaborative efforts among my colleagues in the Governing Council of the Institute, who works as a team to ensure the realization of our strategic focus for the year. When we had differences in opinions, we allowed overall interests of the Institute to override individual differences. The secretarial staff were the army of committed workforce that ensured the accomplishment of our lofty objectives. I thank the immediate past Chief Registrar, Chief Executive, Mr. John Ekodai, SCA, and the new incumbent, Professor Ahmed Kushe, SCA, for providing this excellent leadership at the Secretariat. I am pleased to provide highlights of some of the activities we embarked on in the 2019-2020 presidential year. More importantly, I would mention few of in our bid to minimize the impact of COVID-19 on the promotion of high ethical and professional conduct among members of the Institute was paramount in our activities for the year. The COVID-19 crisis raised new ethical issues in the profession. We followed developments on these ethical issues and provided guidance for our members as may be required. We also created a COVID-19 resource center on our website. We equally strengthened the various disciplinary mechanisms of the Institute and made sure that cases of infraction were speedily resolved. The integrity of the Institute's examination was guided jealously in the course of the year. Council approved the annual trade diet professional examination and arrangements were concluded to commence in March 2020. However, we had to postpone the examinations due to the pandemic. The students and membership drive was reinforced through vigorous in the number of the Institute's members. Presently, we have over 30,000 financial members. We had to take tough decisions to ensure members of the Institute are financially committed. Some of those decisions are the suspension and delisting of non-financial members, which resulted in bringing more members into the financial members' nets. We provided support for our students through scholarships and commenced the use of a new syllabus in the November 2019 diet.
I was the one at the top before when I'm not there.
Activities to mark the centenary birthday celebration of the doyen of the accounting profession in August 2019, Mr. Akintola Williams, FCA. We awarded scholarships to 8 students across various tertiary institutions in the country. Our district societies remain one of the of connection between members and the institute. We supported a number of these district societies through the groundbreaking ceremonies we performed in ICAN. One of the major initiatives of the institute to improve the management of public sector finance is the Accountability Index, ICAN-ngr. This initiative enabled government in the 3 tiers to approximately manage the finances, the financial resources. The launching of the second report was disrupted by the pandemic. The second assessment covers the 774 across the Federation and the area council in the Federal Capital Territory, FCT. This is a major improvement from the first edition of the assessment that only covered the federal government and the 36 state governments. The second edition of the ICAN Accountability Index was supposed to be launched in April 2020. However, this was postponed due to the COVID-19 lockdown. A new date would be fixed by Council for the launching of the report. We fulfilled our objective to the various international bodies we belong, including the International Federation of Accountants, IFAC, the Chartered Accountants Worldwide, CAW, the Pan-African Federation of Accountants, PAFA, and the Association of Accountancy Bodies in West Africa, ABWA. We were not deterred by COVID-19 in our capacity building drive. We leveraged technologically to ensure members' needs continue to be met. Specifically, in addition to the COVID-19, we had webinars on the following topic: impact of COVID-19 on accounting and financial reporting and going concern issues. Effect of the global pandemic on interim financial statements, IAS 34. Events after the reporting period, IAS 10, adjusting and non-adjusting events. Leveraging technology to mitigate the impact of COVID-19 on business. The financial impact of COVID-19, potential audits, challenges, fraud risk, and watch out for and disclosure requirements. We also had 2 economic discourse series in December 2019 and May 2020. These discourses center on topical issues in the profession and the economy. That emanated from these programs were widely publicized and circulated to relevant individuals, agencies of government, and private sector players. Our investment in technology also assisted us to nimbly maneuver the crisis created by the pandemic with respect to other statutory programs of the Institute. We conducted most of our scheduled programs online. For instance, the following programs were held remotely for the first time in ICAN history. Since March 2020, all the council committees and subcommittees meetings were held online. Our 18th conferment of fellowship status ceremony held on the 18th on May 14, 2020, with a total number of 1,353 members conferred with the fellowship status of the Institute. 2020 Annual Merit Award held on Saturday, May 16, 2020. The 65th induction ceremony held on Wednesday, May 20, 2020. A total of 1,212 members were inducted as associates of the Institute. And the 2020 Annual General Meeting held online on Thursday, May 28, 2020. Your Excellencies, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, the above are some of the results of our pledge when we took the mantle of leadership in June 2019 to build on the legacies of the founding fathers of the Institute, of our noble Institute ICAN. It was an invaluable opportunity for me and my colleagues in council to be entrusted with the leadership of the Institute for 1 year. It was a challenging and equally rewarding experience. I thank God for the privilege to serve the 51,408 chartered accountants of one of the most respected professional accountancy organizations globally. This would not be valedictory if I do not acknowledge the immense support of my darling wife, Mrs. Chinodere Nkwadipo, and loving son, Nkwadipo, for their understanding during my countless absence from home on account of ICAN programs. I love you. I thank everyone for listening, and God bless. Thank you. Now I'll call the Registrar Chief Executive to do a special assignment by moving the immediate past president, Alhaji Razak Jayola, to join the revered past presidents.
Thank you, Mr. President. This particular assignment you gave me, sir, unfortunately, we can't be able to do that physically because of the restriction and the social distancing. And our immediate past president, Alhaji Razak Jayola, I'm sure is with us here, joining us. So permit me, sir, to ask you just to take a bow and assume that you have moved to sit with your colleagues on the side of the past president, sir. Normal tradition is that at this point, we'll ask the 55th president to move to the IPP seat so that we can make the president's seat vacant for our incoming president. And we would like to assume that this is done right now.
Thank you very much. I assume it is done. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. My IPP. Thank you, sir.
I have moved also.
Thank you, sir. May I call upon our incoming president, that is the 56th president of our institute, to be upstanding as I invite Mr. Jude Seniego, FCA, a council member, to read us the citation of our incoming president. Mr. Jude, please, you have the floor. Thank you.
The outgoing president, Mazi Nnamdi Anthony Okwadibo, PSC, JP, FCA, the president-elect, Dame Mrs. Onome Joy Adewi, PSC, MSC, ACPIN, FCIB, JP, FCA, the Doing of Accountancy Profession in Africa, Pa Akintola Williams, CBE, OFR, PCOM, FCA, our revered past presidents, especially the chairman of the body of past presidents, Mr. Emmanuel Itoya Ijewere, FCA, the first deputy vice president, Mrs. Comfort Olujumoke Eyitayo, MNI, FCA, the second deputy vice president, Alhaji Tijani Musa Isa, PSC, FCA, my distinguished colleagues in council, the executive secretary, Association of Accountancy Bodies in West Africa, Mr. Ebel Asien, FCA, the Registrar Chief Executive, Professor Ahmed Modu Kumshe, FCA, professional colleagues, distinguished invited guests, members of the President-elect's immediate and extended families, members of the Nigerian press, print and electronic, our distinguished friends, relations and well-wishers, ladies and gentlemen. A very good morning to you all. I consider it a great honor and rare privilege to be recognized and invited by the outgoing president, Mazi Nnamdi Anthony Okwadibo, PSC, JP, FCA, to present the citation of the president-elect, Dame Mrs. Onome Joy Adewi, PSC, MSC, ACPIN, FCIB, JP, FCA, on this beautiful day, Tuesday, June 2, 2020, at this special council meeting for the investiture of the 56th president before this august global audience. My name is Jude Sonny Ebo, an elected council member and fellow of the institute with membership number MB021526. It was William Shakespeare who wrote that, quote, "There is a tide in the affairs of men, which taken at the floods leads unto fortune," unquote. The Holy Bible puts it more succinctly when it said in Ecclesiastes chapter 3 verse 1, quote, "And a time to every purpose under the heaven," end of quote. This is the beginning and the divinely ordained day for the president-elect, our renowned institute, and indeed the accountancy profession in Africa. It could not have been otherwise. The accountancy profession, represented by the Institute of Chartered Accountants of Nigeria, is one of the first professional bodies to receive its charter from the National Assembly after our independence. Indeed, its forerunner, the Association of Accountants in Nigeria, was incorporated on November 17, 1960, just a few days after independence. This clearly underscored not only its prime position in governance, resource management and wealth creation, but also the pivotal role it was expected to play in the new independent nation, such that the nation's pace of economic growth and development would be accelerated. 5.5 decades after the ICAN Charter was signed on September 1, 1965, the Institute has remained not only a pacesetter and trailblazer in many respects, but has also made significant contributions to human capacity building and national development. Indeed, it has remained a place of professionalism, accountability, and integrity both locally and internationally. As a professional accountancy organization, we desire to create a future driven by a resilient army of professional accountants who will continually make things happen rather than watch things happen. We want to create a professional body whose thought leadership profile will continue to be the envy of its peers. We want to create a body whose products resource managers cannot do without if they are desirous of sustaining their businesses and fortune through innovative value creation. Such a dream starts with having a leader with the right vision, a trusted and focused leader in whose vein accounting values flow. We need a leader who can challenge the status quo without rocking the boat. We need a leader with courage and charisma. We need a leader who, like a software, will deliver results efficiently, effectively, and effortlessly. We need a leader, a tested team player who leads from the rear to allow team members to blossom and excel. We need a leader with a large heart who would graciously and courageously take all the blame when things go wrong, but attribute all successes to the team. We need a leader who is not afraid to take calculated risks in the midst of uncertainties, such as the current COVID-19 pandemic. We need a leader who thinks strategy and business models that will make the Institute tide over business and the environmental challenges. We need a specialist in risk management who sees galaxy of stars in the darkest of clouds. We need a leader who can take decisions at the speed of thought in tandem with the dynamics of the environment. Without doubt, getting leaders with these attributes who are committed to the common cause is arguably the greatest challenge of our time. Joyfully, boldly, and please permit me to add, onomatically, I commend to you one of such leaders who has committed nearly 40 years of her life to the accountancy profession. Did I just say 40 years? Yes, the president-elect gained admission to study accounting at the University of Benin in 1979 and graduated in 1982 with a second-class honors upper division at the age of just 22. Not content with just a first degree, she obtained a Master of Science degree in Banking and Finance in 1997 from the famous University of Lagos. Before then, she had qualified as a chartered accountant in 1986 and became an associate member of ICAN. 10 years later, in 1996, she was awarded her fellowship status by ICAN. Lest I forget, at the age of 17, she also made Division 1 in the West African School Certificate Examination at the Federal Government College, Enugu. This was a rare feat for any girl child in those days. Thereafter, she attended the Federal Government College, Warri, from 1977 to 1979 for her higher school certificate and cleared it in flying colors. Since then, it has been accountancy all the way for her, as she has never hidden her love for its adherence, for service to her professional body, and unwavering commitment to its values of integrity, accountability, service, and public interest. This explains why this unfolding seamless change in the leadership of the Institute should resonate with the Nigerian nation and its political leaders. The ascension of a quintessential female to the coveted position of ICAN president amid the nation's economic challenges is a measure of ICAN's commitment to gender mainstreaming, for which we are indeed very, very proud. As a matter of fact, the ravaging COVID-19 pandemic has drawn the world's attention to the desirability of female leadership in all spheres of life, as leaders like Angela Merkel of Germany, Jacinda Ardern of New Zealand, and Catherine Jacobs-Dottir of Iceland, amongst many other females, have all shone like a million stars in the battle against the coronavirus. To the Nigerian nation, the point must be made in the words of Sherry Sandberg that, quote, in the future, there will be no more female leaders. There will just be leaders, unquote. Leaders who offer to. And actually serve the people. Leaders who say what they mean and mean what they say. Leaders whose actions in and out of public glare would depict the right things. Leaders who insist that the public interest must supplant private or personal interest. Here lies the justification for this gathering this morning, to invest and decorate with insignia of office, a leader, a seasoned banker, top-class manager of men and resources, our Vice President, Dame Mrs. Onome Joy Adewu, FCA, as the next president of our noble institute. Whom the cap fits, let her wear. Unarguably, this ICAN cap fits the Dame, physically, intellectually, professionally, socially, and spiritually. The president-elect was born in the oil city of Warri on June 17, 1960, 3 months before the nation's independence, to the family of late Alfred Edune Ogute of Ayama in Ndokwa East local government, and Rachel Emonena Ogute Ni Igor of Emevo in Isoko North local government, both of the Delta State. She is the first of 7 children. It was a celebration of joy to her mom as she was her first child, and hence they christened her Onome, which means my own asset. Shakespeare in Romeo and Juliet asked, quote, "What's in a name? A rose by any name would smell as sweet," unquote. Today, with that affectionately given name, Onome is now our invaluable asset, ICAN's strategic asset, preferred choice for the position of 56th president and indisputable #1 accountant in Nigeria. Interestingly, same year of her birth, her profession divinely manifested itself as exactly 5 months after her birth. The Association of Accountants in Nigeria, the forerunner of the institute, was successfully incorporated on November 17, 1960. Did I hear you say coincidence? No, I call it providence. I say it is divine. Robert A. Bradley agrees when he boldly declared, and I quote, "God schedules a birthday, not man," unquote. And he does so for a purpose. Often, what humans call chance is instead the workings of a deeper pattern, which the casual eye cannot easily perceive. In our environment, I dare say that June 17 is no less important. It was on that day in 1958 that Heinemann published the world literary giant, late Professor Chinua Achebe's Things Fall Apart, that has been translated into over 50 languages. Researchers say that it is the most widely read book in modern African literature. It has sold over 10 million copies. Thus, it is not coincidence, but divine that the president-elect was born on June 17. The president-elect's zodiac sign is Gemini. Gemini people are adaptable, outgoing, and intelligent. There is never a dull moment with a Gemini. They are passionate and easygoing beings who are always down for an adventure or thrilled by intellectual conversations. That I can confirm about the president-elect. Gemini people love to learn. Our president-elect has attended over 40 international courses in the last 20 years because of her belief that knowledge as a commodity has an expiry date. It needs to be renewed all the time. Thus, what we are witnessing today is a manifestation of divine will and the determination of a lady to succeed, to blossom, and to stand on the shoulders of our predecessors to conquer the whole world. It is the fulfillment of an ambition to reach the zenith of our chosen profession. As Laila Akita noted, quote, "She recognized and reached out to the inherent great power within her to fulfill her divine purpose," unquote. As a young and focused lady, the president-elect knew exactly where she wanted to be and how to get there. While her contemporaries were securing jobs in ministries, departments, and agencies of government, she was determined to be a banker, and she achieved the dream. It is worth mentioning that she turned down the opportunity to work with the government when it beckoned. insisting that her calling was in the financial services sector rather than in the civil service. Driven by self-conviction, she strove for a place to make the greatest impact. Her career path saw her through manufacturing, oil and gas, and eventually banking. Determined to live her vision, she resigned from Texaco Nigeria PLC, where she oversaw treasury management, to take up a job in the then Intercontinental Bank PLC. Indeed, her stint with Texaco became her stepping stone into the banking world, where she worked for over 2.5 decades. She worked at Intercontinental Bank, Liberty Bank, United Commercial Bank, Metropolitan Bank, and Fidelity Bank PLC. She spent almost 2 decades at Fidelity Bank, where she rose from the position of manager designate in 1997 to senior manager, assistant general manager, deputy general manager, and executive director in 2009. Her career in Fidelity Bank saw her heading commercial and consumer banking, corporate branches, operations, corporate services, human resources, credit and marketing, and risk management. She retired meritoriously from the services of Fidelity Bank PLC as the Executive Director, Risk Management at age 55, in line with the company's policy on retirement. No doubt our President-elect equipped herself with all the academic qualifications needed to man the positions she held in the bank. Indeed, several years after she left, testimonies abound on how she held sway as Executive Director, Risk Management at Fidelity Bank PLC. She currently serves as the Executive Director, Finance and Administration at Synergy Platforms Nigeria Limited, Lagos, a market-leading manufacturing company she set up with her heartthrob, Engineer Adeyemi Olusaya Adewuyi, HCA, that is, husband of chartered accountant. In addition, she functions as a member of faculty of top-flight training organizations in the financial services sector, such as the Financial Institutions Training Center, Chartered Institute of Bankers of Nigeria, the Institute of Chartered Accountants of Nigeria, and the Fidelity Bank PLC Training School. She also served as guest speaker at the Atlanta Technical College, Atlanta, Georgia, USA. She currently serves on the boards of the following reputable institutions: Governing Council of ICAN, Dominion Trust Company Limited, Dominion Finance Limited, Law Union and Rock Insurance PLC, Financial Reporting Council of Nigeria, International Federation of Accountants, IFAC, as technical advisor. Today, Dame Adewuyi, a multi-talented and gifted leader and manager of men and resources, he is, by the grace of God and dint of serious hard work, a chartered accountant and chartered banker, a fellow of the Institute of Chartered Accountants of Nigeria, a fellow of the Chartered Institute of Bankers of Nigeria, an associate of the Certified Pension Institute of Nigeria, a fellow of the Risk Managers Association of Nigeria, an associate of the Nigerian Institute of Management Chartered, member, Institute of Directors, an alumnus of the Lagos Business School, an alumnus of International Banking Summer School, California, USA, an alumnus of the Wharton Business School, USA, an alumnus of the Harvard Business School, Massachusetts, USA, an alumnus of Kellogg Business School, Chicago, USA, an alumnus of the Ross School of Business, Michigan, USA. As a seasoned professional who has traversed various core divisions of the banking world, Mrs. Adewuyi is an acknowledged risk management expert. It was therefore not a mean feat that she held many strategic positions in various banks before she retired as Executive Director, Risk Management of Fidelity Bank PLC, one of Nigeria's leading quoted banks in terms of performance and market capitalization. Prior to her retirement, her official schedules included serving as Fidelity Bank Chief Risk Officer, where she superintended over the bank's total loan portfolio, spanning billions of naira. Mrs. Adewuyi, in conjunction with Deloitte of South Africa, was responsible for the implementation of Fidelity Bank's enterprise risk management systems in 2008. This culminated in the setup of distinct credit risk, market risk, and operational risk divisions of the bank, which is still in use at Fidelity Bank PLC. She also served as Fidelity Bank's Chief Liaison Officer to all regulatory agencies, such as the Central Bank of Nigeria, Nigeria Deposit Insurance Corporation, Securities and Exchange Commission, Nigerian Stock Exchange, Financial Reporting Council of Nigeria, and all the rating agencies, including Fitch, Standard & Poor's, and Augusto & Co. She also served as chairman of Fidelity Bank's enterprise-wide risk management implementation committee, chairman Nick Fund Investment Committee, and chairman Credit Review Committee, amongst other responsibilities, which included the supervision of over 130 senior and middle-level staff of the bank. According to Edith Wharton, quote, there are two ways of spreading light, to be the candle or the mirror that reflects it, unquote. As a candle, our Amazon has lit the candles of several hundreds of young ladies through her charity works. She has sponsored and continues to sponsor many young ladies to universities and polytechnics. The Bible says that from the abundance of the heart, the mouth speaketh. The dame has spoken life and values to those beneficiaries through her sponsorship. Her mien and demeanor inspire many professional accountants and bankers. She is a role model and a governess to many aspiring young professionals. As chairperson of SWAN, she drove its scholarship scheme to new heights in order to inspire indigent but brilliant young ladies. Today, many of them are her professional colleagues. I dare say that, quote, if your actions inspire others to dream more, learn more, do more, then you are a true leader, unquote. The president-elect is a true leader of a special kind. Put differently, she is not an ordinary human being. Our president-elect is from Delta State, the state that produced late Senator David Dafinone, FCA, the holder of the Guinness World Record for the family with the highest number of chartered accountants. It was not a surprise, therefore, that she was the first female to obtain a BSc accounting degree from the University of Benin in 1982. She was the only female student in the class and was tops in almost all the final year courses. She is the first female chartered accountant from Emevo in Delta State and the third chartered accountant from Delta State to rise to the exalted position of ICAN president. Incidentally, the first was also a female in the person of Chief Mrs. Elizabeth Omarison Adegite, MBA, FCA, President 2009 to 2010. The second was Professor Francis Ojaide, FCA, President 2011 to 2012. Let me share this reminiscence with you. In the president-elect's first year examination in audit and investigation at the University of Benin, the invigilator, who was her lecturer, asked her in the examination hall if she was prepared for the exams. Because she was very quiet in class, the lecturer apparently did not notice her. However, after the exams, she scored 89%, while the next student scored 68%. The lecturer then came to the class to congratulate one Mr. Onome Ogude for his brilliant performance in the class. He requested his Mr. Onome Ogude to make his answer scripts available to his students for them to study how to answer exam questions in the university.
Okay.
He is persuaded, very beautiful destination. She wholeheartedly shares the view of Harold R. Makalendo, which says, do not follow where the path may lead. Go instead where there is no path and leave a trail, unquote. As a lone female student in the accounting class in University of Benin, she was determined to chart a new path, make a difference, and leave a trail. And she did. Corporate entities and indeed learning organizations like ICAN must go through evolutionary processes through which they rediscover and reposition themselves for better service delivery to their diverse stakeholders. At the heart of this repositioning is the issue of strategic leadership driven by strategic thinking and thought leadership, except the propriety for the unanimous election by the 30 wise men and women in the ICAN Governing Council. Of them, Mrs. Onome, our joy, Adewi, the Vice President of the Institute, as the 56th President of the Inaugural Institute on March 26, 2020. The President-elect was first elected to ICAN Governing Council. For every 3 years thereafter, she won all her elections because of the overwhelming love and trust she enjoyed from members. In Council, she has made invaluable contributions that have greatly impacted the Institute. She has served in almost all the standing committees of Council, either as chairman or deputy chairman. Please permit me to list some of them for posterity. Member, Governing Council, 2007 to date. Vice President, June 2019 to yesterday. First Deputy Vice President, 2018 to 2019. Second Deputy Vice President, 2017 to 2018. Three-time ICAN Honorary Treasurer, 2011, 2010. Chairman, Finance and General Purpose Committee, 2019. Chairman, Accounting Technician Scheme of West Africa Committee, 2019. Chairman, Major Tenders Board, 2019. Chairman, Research and Technical Committee, 2018. Chairman, Local Organizing Committee of the IFAC World Congress of Accountants, Sydney, 2018. Chairman, Membership Affairs Committee, 2017. Chairman, Professional Examinations Committee, 2017. Chairman, Joint Investigating Panel, 2017. Chairman, Accountants Investigating Panel 1, 2017. Chairman, Publication and Image Committee, 2016. Chairman, Information Technology Committee, 2015. Chairman, Local Organizing Committee for the IFAS Committee, 2009 to 2011. Deputy Chairman, Building Projects Committee, 2019. Vice Chairman, District Societies Committee, 2019. Vice Chairman, Finance and General Purpose Committee, 2018. Deputy Chairman, Corporate Finance Faculty, 2018 to 2010. Conference Director, 2008. Disciplinary Tribunal, 2011 to date. Member, various committees of council, 2007 to date. Member, Lagos Mainland and District Society, 2010 to date. She has also served in the following staff and organization. Furthermore, as you are probably aware, ICAN has 56 Ikeja, Lagos Island, Ikorodu, our joy Adewuyi, the Vice President of the Institute, as the 56th President of the Inaugural Institute on March 26, 2020. The President-elect was first elected to ICAN Governing Council in the 2007-2008 presidential year. For every 3 years thereafter, she won all her elections because of the overwhelming love and trust she contributions that have greatly impacted the Institute. She has served in almost all the standing committees of council, either as chairman or deputy chairman. Please permit me to list some of them for posterity. Member, Governing Council, 2007 to date. Vice President, June 2019 to yesterday. First Deputy Vice President, 2018 to 2019. Second Deputy Vice President, 2017 to 2018. Three-time ICAN Honorary Treasurer, 2011, 2012, and 2014. Chairman, Finance and General Purpose Committee, 2000. Accounting Technician Scheme of West Africa Committee, 2019. Chairman, Major Tenders Board, 2019. Chairman, Research and Technical Committee, 2018. Chairman, Local Organizing Committee of the IFAC World Congress of Accountants, Sydney, 2018. Chairman, Membership Affairs Committee, 2017. Chairman, Professional Examinations Committee, 2017. Chairman, Joint Investigating 2011. Furthermore, as you are probably aware, ICAN has 56 districts located within Nigeria and overseas. Interestingly, the president-elect will be president number 56. In the course of her service, she has served as council coordinator for 10 of the districts in Nigeria, namely Aba, Umuahia, Akure, Jos, Lagos Mainland, Ikeja, Lagos Island, Ikorodu, Amuwo, Ojo, Badagry, and Agbara district societies. At the international level, she has served as coordinator for the district societies in UK, USA, Canada, Malaysia, and Cameroon. In addition to the above, the president-elect currently serves as ICAN representative on the board of Financial Reporting Council of Nigeria, 2017 to date, technical advisor to ICAN representative on the board of International Federation of Accountants, IFAC, New York, representing Africa and Middle East, 2017 to date, treasurer, Association of Accounting Bodies in West Africa, ABWA, 2019. Since 1997, the president-elect has attended all the World Congresses of Accountants, the Olympics of the accountancy profession, organized by the International Federation of Accountants, as follows: 1997, Paris, France; 2002, Hong Kong; 2006, Istanbul, Turkey; 2010, Kuala Lumpur, Malaysia; 2014, Rome, Italy; and 2018, Sydney, Australia. Public service. The president-elect's services to the public are numerous. They include the following: Vice President, Risk Managers Association of Nigeria, RIMAN, 2006 to 2008. Member, Committee for the Selection of Executive Management of the Nigerian Stock Exchange, 2011. Assistant Secretary, International Federation of Women Accountants, African Chapter, 1997. President, Society of Women Accountants of Nigeria, SWAN, 2013 to 2015. Vice President, SWAN, 2005 to 2013. Secretary, SWAN, 2000 to 2005. Member, SWAN, 1988 to date. Member, Ole Diocese and Anglican Communion Investment Committee, 2014. I have gone this far to demonstrate, according to one of Henry Wadsworth Longfellow's poem, that, quote, the heights by great men and women, reached and kept, were not attained by sudden flight, but they, while their companions slept, were toiling upwards in the night. You can say that again about our president-elect. While her peers were striving to identify a suitable professional career, she had already sharpened her iron like the village blacksmith with conscientiousness, precision, confidence, and grace, making today sublime, historic, and prophetic. Let me add that by this investiture, Dame Mrs. Onome Joy Adewi will also become the president of the Association of Accountancy Bodies in the whole of West Africa. Service to the Church of God. Dame Mrs. Onome Joy Adewi is a baptized, confirmed, and devout Christian of the Anglican Communion faith in Nigeria and has served the Church of God in various capacities to the glory of God. She is an active member of the All Saints AHQ Church, Abati Barracks, Surulere, Lagos, for the past 33 years. She is a member of the Christian Women Fellowship and the former auditor of the society. She was the president of the Ladies of Charity Society, 2009 to 2015, past chairman, Harvest Committee, 2008 to 2009, vice chairperson, Harvest Committee, 1999, 2006 to 2008, secretary, Works Committee, 98, member, Welfare Committee, 1998 to 2005, former member, Unit Church Council, patroness of Unit Ladies of Charity Society, matron, Christian Youth Fellowship, matron, church choir, matron, church band, and matron, Guild of Stewards, the ushers. Indeed, she has passion for charity works and development of the indigent girl child. She runs a scholarship scheme for Anglican priests and indigent children attending Nigerian universities and polytechnics. In recognition of her contributions to her home church, St. Michael's Anglican Church, Emevo, and the Anglican Diocese of Wole, she was invested as a Knight of St. Mary by His Lordship, Right Reverend John U. Urapo, the Bishop of the Diocese of Wole, on 20th December 2014. She was also appointed a member of the Diocese of Wole Investment Committee, where she brought her banking and management skills to bear in the investment decisions of the diocese. In 2013, as president of the Ladies of Charity Society of All Saints Church, she organized and took members of the society to Rome and Israel on holy pilgrimage. In 2014, she repeated the feat and took 123 members of the Society of Women Accountants of Nigeria, SWAN, and their spouses to Rome and Israel on holy pilgrimage. Today, many SWAN members proudly use the letters JP, Jerusalem Pilgrim, after their names because of the visionary leadership of our 56th president. As she would always say, nothing is too much for one to do to promote God's work on earth. Distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, the president-elect is not all about academics or career, work, and the accountancy profession. She is also a great family woman and happily married to engineer Adeyemi Olusaya Adewi. She is a proud mother of 3 lovely children, namely Mrs. Ifeolu Eleho Abdullahi, PSC Estate Management, MSc Interior Design, Ms. Orooluwa Edirinvere Olaolu, PSC Accounting, MSc Energy Finance Dundee, FRM ACA, and Mr. Emamoke Olubenga Olaolu, PSC Building Technology. She is also a doting grandmother of Ms. Ireolu Omovigo Abdullahi. Awards and recognitions. In appreciation of her invaluable services to humanity, the dame has received many merit awards and recognitions. Some of the awarding institutions are Federal Government College Enugu Old Students Association for outstanding contribution to alma mater development, 2001 and 2013. Diocese of Asaba Anglican Communion, 2007. All Saints AHQ Church, Abati Barracks, Surulere, Lagos, 2008. Diocese of Oturubo Anglican Communion, 2010. Rotary Club Metropolitan, Festac Town, Lagos, 2010. Lions Club of Warri, 2010. Intercontinental Bank PLC, Staff of the Year, 1991. Fidelity Bank PLC, Anglican Communion Diocese of Wole, Delta State, Knight of St. Mary, Warri, Akure, Ilorin, Ibadan, and other ICAN district societies. Other achievements. The president-elect was head girl and national flag coordinator at Christ African School 1, Warri, Delta State. She was also selected among the top 100 primary school children in the old Bentel State by the Federal Ministry of Education to start the 8 newly created federal government colleges in Nigeria on scholarship in 1972, and was posted to Federal Government College Enugu with 9 other pupils from the state after a very rigorous interview process. She was a house captain at Federal Government College Enugu. She was also a national president of the Federal Government College Enugu Old Students Association, and also the trustee of the same association. She was also a best student in economics and geography in her higher school certificate graduation class at Federal Government College, Warri, in 1979. It may interest you to know that despite these humongous achievements, the president-elect still finds time to relax and enjoy. She is a member of the Ikoyi Club 1938, and her hobbies include dancing, listening to gospel music, supporting the clergy, supporting the indigent girl child, and building for the Church of God. Professional colleagues, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, it is now my singular honor and privilege to present to you the president-elect, a distinguished lady that is not an ordinary human being, a multi-talented professional, an astute banker of international repute, a risk management expert, an accomplished Nigerian, an entrepreneur, a top-class manager of resources, a charismatic and visionary leader, a philanthropist, a pace-setter and dogged fighter, a humanist with a heart of gold, an Omoluabi, a role model, an Amazon, a dutiful wife, loving mother and doting grandmother, a scholar, a seasoned chartered accountant, a beautiful lady in whose blood accounting values flow, an ambassador of integrity and professionalism. I present to you Dame Mrs. Onome ICAN-ngr Adewi, BSc, MSc, ACPIN, FCIP, JP, FCA, the Vice President, to be invested and decorated with the insignia of office as the 56th President of the only Institute of Chartered Accountants of Nigeria. Thank you so much.
Thank you, everyone. Now we have come to the main business of the day, that is the investiture sub. May I plead with the chairman of the body of past presidents to take the position of our outgoing president and assist us in investing the 56th president of the Institute of Chartered Accountants of Nigeria.
Hey!
Ladies and gentlemen, I present to you the 56th president of the Institute of Chartered Accountants of Nigeria.
Oh my goodness, congratulations again and again. Oh, wonderful.
Congratulations.
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 Madam Monomen, congratulations. From my hair.
Congratulations.
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 Congratulations, my darling sister.
Congratulations,
Congratulations, Madam President.
Congratulations, Mr. President.
Congratulations, Madam President.
Congratulations.
Congratulations from the Adebalas.
Anams, congratulations. Congratulations. Wonderful.
Everybody.
Congratulations.
All right, now I'll invite the barrister in house. Apologies for not recognizing you earlier. Barrister Ohenero Lawrence Ede, Esquire, to give the oath of office to our 56th president. He will be assisted by
Wear something like cream like that woman.
Barrister Spade.
Madam President, ready? Full Bible. Say after us. Say after us. I, Onome Joy Adewi,
Joy Adewi,
BSc, MSc, FCIB, FCA, do solemnly swear or affirm.
do solemnly swear or affirm.
I just swear and affirm. Swear or affirm. Do solemnly swear that I will be faithful and bear true allegiance to the Institute of Chartered Accountants of Nigeria.
That I will be faithful and bear true allegiance to the Institute of Chartered Accountants of Nigeria.
That as president of the Institute, I will discharge my duties and perform my functions honestly.
That as president of the Institute, I will discharge my duties and perform my functions honestly.
To the best of my ability, faithfully, in accordance with the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria.
To the best of my ability, faithfully, in accordance with the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria.
The ICAN Act.
The ICAN Act.
Code of Conduct for members and all the rules and regulations of the Institute.
Code of Conduct for members and all the rules and regulations of the Institute.
That I shall always act in the interest of the integrity.
That I shall always act in the interest of the integrity.
Solidarity. Well-being. And prosperity of the Institute.
And prosperity of the Institute.
That I will not allow my personal interest.
That I will not allow my personal interest.
To influence my official conduct.
To influence my official conduct.
Or my official decisions.
Or my official decisions.
That I will, to the best of my ability.
That I will, to the best of my ability.
Preserve.
Protect.
And defend the ICAN Act.
And defend the ICAN Act.
that I will not directly or indirectly communicate or reveal to any person any matter which shall be brought under my consideration or shall become known to me as president of the institute, except as may be required for the due discharge of my duties as president, and that I will devote myself to the services and well-being of the Institute of Chartered Accountants of Nigeria. So help me God.
Amen.
Amen.
We need to sign. Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you, everyone.
Are you telling us that you don't want?
I'm 56th President of the Institute of Chartered Accountants of Nigeria. Let me be the first person to congratulate you. Congratulations, ma'am.
Serious.
Before I invite you to give your acceptance speech, it is our tradition to also do the investiture of our IPP. Unfortunately, because of the circumstances we find ourselves in, and the fact that he could not be physically present, I have it here, which we could have put on him. So my IPP, sir, we will do that physically whenever the situation permits and you fly into Lagos. So congratulations, Mr. IPP, sir. It is my honor and privilege to now invite the 56th President of the Institute of Chartered Accountants of Nigeria, then Mrs. Onome Joy Adewi, to give her acceptance speech. Madam President, you're welcome. I think, can you read that because this place is dark? Okay.
The immediate past president, Mazi Nnamdi Anthony Okwadigo, JP, BSc, FCA. Your Excellencies here present, the doyen of the accountancy profession in Africa, Mr. Akintola Williams, BCom, CBE, CFRO, FCA, membership number 000014. Distinguished senators and honorable members of the National Assembly, the representative of the Minister of Education, our supervisory minister, the chairman body of past presidents, Mr. Emmanuel Itoya Ijewere, FCA. our revered past presidents who are here physically and online. The first Deputy Vice President, my good friend, Mrs. Comfort Olujumoke Eitayo, MNI FCA. The second Deputy Vice President, my brother, Alhaji Tijani Musa Issa, BSc FCA. Distinguished council members, Your Royal Highnesses, my Lord, spiritual and temporal, presidents of sister professional bodies here present, former registrars and chief executives, Executive Secretary ABBA, Mr. Abel Asen, Registrar Chief Executive of ICAN, Professor Ahmed Modukunche, FCA, captains of industry here present, my professional colleagues watching this program online, eminent invited guests that are online, chairmen and secretaries of ICAN district societies, my darling husband, engineer, Adeyemi Olusoya Adewi, and my lovely children, Ifeolu, Oreolua, and Imamuke. Other distinguished friends, my brothers and sisters here present and online, my mother who is online with us too, gentlemen of the press, ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon to you all. Due to time constraints, I will be reading live an abridged version of this acceptance speech. However, a copy of the complete and unabridged speech has been sent out to everyone virtually present and then hard copies for those of us inside this hallowed chamber. Let me start this acceptance speech by expressing my profound appreciation to the Almighty God for making this day possible. This is a day He has ordained, and we must rejoice and be glad in it. To God alone be all the glory and honor. And indeed, let us all here present with a gladsome heart praise the Lord for His kind, for His mercies endureth forever. He's ever faithful and ever sure. Amen. These are peculiar and unusual times. Indeed, nothing in the last 100 years has shaken the world scientifically, economically, socially, and even spiritually like the coronavirus or COVID-19, which has been ravaging the world since the beginning of the year. Declared as a pandemic by the World Health Organization in February 2020, this unseen but vicious enemy altered our lifestyles and brought everything to a standstill. The world was, in fact, locked down. While it lasted, nothing mattered anymore as death diminished humanity, raising doubt about the meaning of our very existence and the essence of life. In its wake, a lot of investments and value-creating activities, national targets, corporate goals, and personal aspirations were disrupted, negatively impacted, or even completely destroyed. Human capital, the most important assets of nations and corporate entities, was painfully decimated globally. Sadly, many people lost their loved ones. May the souls of those who departed rest in perfect peace. Amen. But as a devout Christian, I know that times and seasons are divinely ordained, and that this also will pass. And indeed, by faith, I believe it has passed to the glory of God. By the special grace of the Almighty God, as a body and as a nation, we will triumph. God will heal our land. Collectively, we will be set to rebuild the fallen walls of Jerusalem, that we be no more a reproach. Thus, irrespective of the uncertainties which envelop the world in the first 5 months of the year, I am persuaded that in the months ahead, the wheel of human progress will continue to roll at its ordained pace, raising hope and creating in this wake enviable legacies and testimonies. As a key player in the local and global environment, ICAN, like all corporate bodies, was not insulated from the happenings and disruptions occasioned by COVID-19. Since necessity is the mother of invention, the Governing Council proactively adopted strategic responses to minimize the impact of the uncertainties and disruptions on the Institute's activities by leveraging technology to conduct its business in line with its mandates. The Institute had a taste of this evolving paradigm when it held its inaugural Zoom-enabled council meeting on March 26, 2020, in order to continue to serve the Institute's stakeholders. It was at this technology-driven meeting that I was unanimously elected by the Governing Council as the 56th President of Agri Institute for the 2020-2021 presidential year. In line with its Charter of Responsibilities, the Council ensured that there was no gap in leadership succession. Indeed, history was made on that day. As the Holy Book in Ecclesiastes 9:11 says, the race is not to the swift, nor the battle to the strong, neither yet bread to the wise, nor yet riches to men of understanding, nor yet favor to men of skill, but time and chance happeneth to them all. And so for me, this election as the 56th president of our institute, under our present health circumstance, was divinely ordained by the Almighty God. To him be all the glory. Therefore, what we are gathered here to accomplish today, which you have just witnessed, is the formal transfer of the insignia of office and reins of power from the immediate past president to my humble self to give legal effect to the outcome of that historic virtual election. It was the prelude to this epoch-making event that my friend and distinguished colleague on council, Mr. Jude Sonny Egbo, FCA, volunteered and brilliantly presented my modest citation to affirm that I'm most deserving of this rare honor. I was deeply touched by the eloquence and kind words he expressed while reading my citation. At some point, I started wondering if he was talking about me. Thank you, Mr. Jude Sonny Egbo. God bless you richly. Acceptance. It is therefore with humility, great sense of responsibility, and a determination to selflessly serve that I, Dame Onome Joy Adewi, graciously accept my election as the 56th president and flag bearer of the accountancy profession in Nigeria, as pioneered and represented by the Institute of Chartered Accountants of Nigeria. Given the values cherished by the Institute, accountancy profession, and the enviable antecedents of our founding fathers, I promise to hold dear this great position of trust and responsibility, unanimously reposed in me by my professional peers. As your primus inter pares ambassador, I will live the ICAN ideal of integrity, professionalism, and defend the public interest. I will not betray this invaluable trust, no matter the price. I have been involved in mobilizing and attracting young girls, including one of my daughters, into the profession and inspiring them to fulfill their dreams. Under the auspices of the Society of Women Accountants of Nigeria, SWAN, founded by the distinguished Chief Mrs. Elizabeth Omeresa Adegite, FCA past president, which I subsequently chaired between years 2013 and 2015, many ladies rediscovered their hidden natural talents, innate abilities, and business acumen, which they gracefully exploited to succeed. Within the Old Student Association of FDC Enugu and Alumni Association of University of Benin, and my church, All Saints Age Cathedral, Abati Barracks, Lagos, I actively spread the alluring message of accountancy and its implications for accountability and wealth creation. The financial services sector where I made my career was not spared. At the time I exited the system, my bank, the Fidelity Bank PLC, has one of the largest block of chartered accountants that we had to seek to become an ICAN chapter. My roles in district societies and numerous ICAN standing and ad hoc committees were no less outstanding. As honorary treasurer of the Institute for 3 years, I gave the Institute resources remarkably. Today, to the glory of God, I've been hugely rewarded for my modest contributions. With this investiture, I have become the second ICAN president from Isoko in Delta State, the third ICAN president from the entire Delta State, and the first alumnus of the 50-year-old University of Benin to be an ICAN president. Within the larger ICAN family, I am the 7th female ICAN president, following in the footsteps of accomplished and great women like Her Royal Highness Ayora, late Her Royal Highness Ayora Bola Kufureji Olubi, late Chief Mrs. Olutoyin Olakunrin, Princess Agnes A. Adeniran, Chief Mrs. Ibironke Oshiemi, Chief Mrs. Catherine G. Opareke, and Chief Mrs. Elizabeth Adegite. In the Holy Writ, the number 7 commonly symbolizes perfection and completeness. However, to Naaman, the great Syrian military warrior, it additionally signifies divine restoration, implying that during the presidential year and by the special grace of God, ICAN will break new grounds and reclaim its prime position in public governance in Jesus' name. Amen. As an icing on this cake, let me also state that by this investiture, I've also become the president of the Association of Accountancy Bodies in West Africa, ABWA, a sub-regional body which the Institute joined its peers to found in 1982. Permit me to particularly mention that as the 56th president, I'm inheriting a stronger ICAN bequeathed on me by the immediate past president, Mazi Nnamdi Okwuadigbo. Sir, your sterling achievements have been succinctly articulated in your valedictory speech. The enviable manner with which the challenges occasioned by COVID-19 were maneuvered is laudable. As noted in the 56th president's address, the restricted movements as a result of COVID-19 necessitated the cancellation of few of the Institute's activities. However, the Council rose to the challenge and ensured that other activities were virtually held successfully. One of such testaments is this investiture being conducted online for the first time in the history of ICAN. I heartily dedicate this achievement first to God Almighty. I heartily dedicate my achievements first to God Almighty for his beneficence, grace, faithfulness, and love. Secondly, to my dear mother, Madam Rachel Emonena Igor, who has been there for me and my siblings from birth to date. And also to my dear husband and my lovely children who stood by me all the way in my sojourn to the top of my profession. Clarion call to service. Although many I want to acknowledge the glamour and prestige associated with the high office of the ICAN president, let me state that this investiture is a clarion call to service, and so the enormity of its responsibility is not lost on me. However, I am persuaded that with the support and over 500-year cumulative experience of our council members, we will reposition ICAN and the accountancy profession in the scheme of things for greater relevance in national discourse, public policy, and advocacy. After a painstaking analysis of the turn of events, we have chosen the theme, repositioning ICAN for greater visibility for the 2020-2021 presidential year. Specifically, we have summarized and focused to address the underlisted issues in line with the mandate of the Institute. Preserving the future of the profession. On a regular basis, we are faced with facts and statistics that stare us in the face that the traditional accounting profession is going into extinction. God forbid. Citing the report from the 2018 World Economic Forum on the future of work, a presentation made at the IFAC 2018 World Congress of Accountants stated that by 2022, about 75 million traditional accounting jobs will be lost to technology. Furthermore, the presentation also stated that 93% of chartered accountants' jobs will be lost to technological changes induced by the fourth industrial revolution if we do not retool and re-strategize to embrace the new ways of doing things. Indeed, the choice is ours to make. The advice to the chartered accountant today is to embrace technology or we die. New skill sets are now required as a result of digital disruptions and demands for new services from users of accounting services. This is a time of great challenges with great opportunities. It is not a time to be timid or shy, We must be bold as a professional institute to redefine and preserve our future. The choice we have is either to win or lose. As a council, we have made the choice to win. The question we should be asking ourselves now is, how do we support the development of the future-ready professional accountants? What do we need to do to ensure that our products, the newly qualified chartered accountants and the current members, have the required skill sets and competencies to serve and meet the needs of users of our services? Clearly, we now need to retool, rethink, and retrain chartered accountants to make them future-ready. Review of the examination syllabus. As you are all aware, with the rapid advancement in information technology and its disruptive nature, the accountant is now seen as only one of the information suppliers to the business community. With the convergence of the various disciplines, accounting, systems engineering, programming, law, banking, and the whittling down of the dominance of accounting in business, we must reassert our value creating and delivery competence to survive and thrive. The increasing pervasiveness of artificial intelligence and machine learning makes this strategy imperative. One sure way of doing this is for the council to tailor accounting education curricula to further meet the changing needs of the marketplace. Accordingly, the council will review its examination syllabi to ensure that the institute continues to produce future-ready chartered accountants with skills and competencies desired by the market. Before now, we used to review our syllabus once in 5 years. We shall take the bold steps to review the syllabus more frequently to respond to changes in the marketplace. In addition, the Institute will collaborate with the National Universities Commission and the National Board for Technical Education to review the accounting curricula of universities and polytechnics. This will facilitate alignment between the theory and practice of accounting for the benefit of all stakeholders. We will take advantage of our membership of the IFAC International Panel of Accounting Education to ensure the Institute is current in emerging areas which will define the future of the profession. Fortunately, one of our members of council, Professor Innocent Oposa, bidded for this position at IFAC and he qualified. Today, he sits on that board, so we'll take advantage of that. Our relationship with IFAC will be a huge asset to us, which we intend to leverage upon in this journey. Rethinking ICAN examination processes. Over the years, ICAN examinations remain one of the unique selling points of the Institute. We have successfully guarded the integrity of our examinations process and conduct. This standard will be sustained at all costs. It is encouraging that in the last 2 presidential years, the Institute successfully transited to on-screen marking, which has both enhanced the turnaround time of the examinations and also afforded us the opportunity to conduct more examinations diets in a year. These are gains that will be consolidated in the presidential year. Although no exams have been taken this year because of the COVID-19 pandemic, we are optimistic and really working towards it that the next set of examinations will hold shortly. We are in collaboration with other international professional accountancy organizations to ensure that we recommence the conduct of our examinations. I will work with my council to leverage the facilities available to the Institute and initiate an alternative model for writing the Institute examinations fully online, using the computer-based testing. Indeed, the affirmance of COVID-19 could increase the demand for CBT, and we have to be prepared for this possible change in demand and delivery format. We no longer have the luxury of time, and we must set at work immediately. We will put in place a machinery for Nigerians in diaspora and other nationalities with the support of our foreign districts to be able to take our examinations online, irrespective of the time zone difference. In addition, we will provide oversight technical assistance to tuition centers for remote learning platforms for students in their preparation for the Institute's examinations. ICAN students should not be disadvantaged due to restrictions that may not be completely removed for some time due to COVID-19. Our tuition centers will be encouraged to become centers of excellence for online preparatory classes. Service to members. During the year, the Council, under my leadership, will strive to carry out the following initiatives to meet the needs of our members. survey on service delivery. Based on my interactions with many members, there are information and expectation gaps between them and the Institute. The decline in the number of people who willingly pay their subscriptions can partly be attributed to this. Therefore, bridging the gap is in the long-term interest of the Institute. Accordingly, the Research and Technical Directorate, in conjunction with the Corporate Communication, will be encouraged to conduct quick surveys to regularly feel the pulse of members on governance, membership, and emerging technical issues in order to provide informed basis for Council to take decisions. Refocusing ICAN capacity building initiatives. The COVID-19 pandemic has no doubt stimulated the interest of professionals in flexible training programs that could be attended in the comfort of their homes. In the last presidential year, the Council developed technology to organize different capacity building programs for members of the Institute. We ran webinars on various aspects of remote training, various aspects of accounting. Prior to this, the e-learning platform of the Institute was developed to deepen remote training for members. In this presidential year, we will formalize our online trainings and incorporate them into the annual training brochure. The activities of our membership, education, and training department will be bolstered with cutting-edge virtual training programs. These will run together with the established traditional mode of delivery trainings. We also recognize that some of our members are actually not computer or technology savvy, so we have to provide for them too. Also, the faculties will be equipped to become centers of excellence for virtual training in the 7 specialist areas of accounting. Within the ambit of our Enabling Act, we will expand the certification programs of the faculties into areas such as operations and strategy, project management, risk management, business analytics, financial modeling, and data analytics. All these are to prepare our members to be future-ready chartered accountants. Refocusing of district societies. Since the creation of the first district society in 1971 in Enugu, the number has increased to 59, I'm told this morning, 7 chapters, and of course, the Society of Women Accountants of Nigeria, SWAN, spread over the various continents of the world. Given the network of technical resources at the disposal of these district societies, the Council will involve them in more governance roles during this year. Accordingly, subventions to district societies will now be tied to the achievement of set targets at the beginning of the presidential year. These targets will include sourcing of candidates for both the professional examination and ATS examinations from their areas of influence. The aspiration of Council this presidential year is to maintain the candidature for the 2 exams of 2019 in year 2020. This is because of the challenges arising from social distancing this year. We will also grow our financial membership by 12.5%. The district societies are critical to the achievement of these targets. Small and medium-sized practices. As part of the strategies to enhance the quality of professional practice, especially by small and medium-sized practices in the country, the Council set up the SMP committee to engage these practitioners with a view to addressing their challenges, leveraging the feedback from practitioners and resources from the IFAC SMP committee. The Council revisited the practice licensing regime and introduced measures to weed out quackery and moonlighting in practice. To reinforce these measures, the Council liaised with the Big 4 firms to arrange capacity building initiatives for these practitioners. In the months ahead, more training programs will be arranged to further reposition them for better service delivery to users of accounting services. In addition, more guidance notes will be issued by the Council to assist practitioners to tide over difficult practice issues. Practice monitoring. In line with IFAC's statement of membership obligations, the issue of quality control through practice monitoring is germane to rebuilding and sustaining the confidence of stakeholders in corporate reports and integrity of professional accountants in practice. Accordingly, the Council resolved to press forward with the lifting of the temporary suspended practice monitoring program, tweaked its modalities, updated the practice review documents, and commenced the processes for its commencement with engagement of experienced practice reviewers. Thus, in the weeks ahead, the practice monitoring program will commence in earnest. Foreign embassies and members in diaspora. It is common knowledge that many members have migrated to other countries in quest for sustainable greener pasture. In response, the Council has established district societies in the UK, USA, Canada, Cameroon, and Malaysia to cater for their professional needs. During this presidential year, the Council will engage various foreign embassies in Nigeria with a view to forging cordial relationships between the district societies abroad and their respective embassies. Such close relationships with foreign embassies will help our members in diaspora if they need help from their countries of residence. In the same vein, the Council will also reach out to the leadership of the Nigerian Diaspora Commission for the same purpose. The Institute will invest in information technology. The lesson of the COVID-19 pandemic is not lost on us. The incident has challenged us to redefine the values we share, the way we work, relate, and account for our actions and inactions. Evidently, the proactive deployment and proficiency in the use of technology will continue to define corporate and individual success. Today, the work ecosystem has changed with the pervasiveness of remote work ethos in both developed and developing countries. This emerging paradigm has implications for how we relate and bond as professionals who share a common vision of working together to build a great nation with a sustainable economy driven by strong institutions. As ICAN, we have taken the bull by the horn by holding virtual meetings. We will rejig the Institute's internal information technology architecture to further reposition and bring it to world-class standards. Accordingly, your council has taken the bold step to invest hugely in the right human capital and technology to support these changes. The Institute's budgetary allocation for new information technology infrastructures needed to achieve these changes will have to go up, and we are ready to make these investments. We will no longer see expenditure on information technology as a cost center, but as critical investment that will yield good returns for our institutes. So the profession. There is no doubt that today, more than ever before, the accountancy profession as a body of gatekeepers needs men and women of courage, goodwill, and proven integrity to drive the renaissance of our value system and counter society's scathing criticisms. We must take on the gauntlet to redefine our values and defend the public interest. This is the surest way to redeem the profession's credibility, rebuild its image, and chart a new course that will guarantee the prosperity of the Nigerian nation and indeed the human race. Thus, as we strive to hold leaders at all levels to account, we will also scrupulously enforce compliance to our professional code of ethics and sanction all proven cases of misdemeanor by members without fear or favor. During the year, the Council will give adequate publicity to the judgments of the accountancy disciplinary tribunals in order to assure the public that appropriate actions are being taken by the Institute on unethical practices by its members that are brought to its notice. We count on members and other stakeholders to report erring colleagues, as the task of ridding the profession of any bad egg and preserving a hard-earned image is a collective responsibility. This is the challenge you have thrust on me by the historic election. By the special grace of God, I will neither fail nor falter. I will uphold and defend the integrity and honor of the accountancy profession and use this office to advance the cause of the Institute and humanity at large. To the nation, as a nation, we are painfully at a crossroads. We are at a point in our economic development where we must address the paradox of poverty in the midst of plenty. According to the 2019 World Bank Human Development Report, 53.5% of Nigerians live below the poverty line of $1.19 a day. I am inclined, like many analysts, to believe that the situation is even worse, considering the high rate of crime and criminality all over the country. The situation is better imagined if we take cognizance of the possible adverse effect of COVID-19 in the near term. To put it mildly, the poor are hungry and angry, thereby precipitating violence and insecurity everywhere. no one is safe anymore. To underscore the severity of the situation, some subnational governments are now painfully negotiating with and paying monetary compensation to bandits in an effort to stem the flourishing enterprise of kidnapping, raping, and killings. Clearly, these ugly happenings belies the country's civilization and claims of giant developmental strides by leaders of all levels of government. Given the nation's huge natural and human resources endowment, this is clearly an aberration. The anger of the hungry and the sense of insecurity of the helpless and vulnerable must be addressed for this narrative to change for the sake of all of us. As professionals skilled in resource management, we must frontally confront these inexplicable, inexcusable, and unacceptable misery indices accentuated by high rate of unemployment, poor access of the citizenry to the basic things of life, high illiteracy rates, huge number of out-of-school children, low life expectancy rates, and the girl child marriages. If we are desirous of making an appreciable progress in the United Nations 17th Sustainable Development Goals by the year 2020, although these challenges are not new, I think that for too long, public expenditure and service have been driven by narrow personal gains rather than the common good. For too long, the nation has celebrated wealth without recourse to source. For too long, we have placed the cart before the horse in our developmental agenda. We therefore must arise as a collective to right the wrongs of ages past. Accordingly, as a professional body, we will partner with the government to redefine national values, economic priorities, and resources utilization strategies such that the mass of the citizenry can be lifted out of avoidable poverty. We will leverage our professional expertise to support players in the informal sector whose unsung value-creating activities will define the position of the nation on the ladder of sustainable development. Above all, leadership at all levels must and will be held to account. Without accountability, development will remain a pipe dream. Strategic relevance and visibility of ICAN in public sector governance. Your Excellency, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, in the last 2 decades, the accountancy profession has steadily lost its prime position in public sector governance with severe implications for resource utilization, accountability, and transparency. It is not uncommon to find that core accounting functions are performed by non-professional accountants. In the immediate past, and in a country with over 50,000 seasoned chartered accountants, a minister of budget and planning, without prejudice to his performance, was a distinguished lawyer. What a misalignment of skill and function. The voice of ICAN was heard in silence, sadly. Today, the Institute has only one member in the federal cabinet. Our twin goal is to ensure that ICAN remains not only the institute of choice for appointments into critical accounting and finance functions at all levels of government, but also that political appointments that require our professional services are rightly given to professional accountants. We need to defend our turf as professional accountants for the greater glory of Nigeria. Except the right pegs are placed in the right holes, the desired economic renaissance will be a forlorn hope. The time to fight for strategic relevance is now. The fight will also entail encouraging our members to be involved in politics, especially as kingmakers. Our passivity in politics partly accounts for the observed marginalization. This is further compounded by a distance from the center of governance. To this end, your institute will take the bold step of having a very visible presence at the seat of government, like all other professional bodies in Nigeria. Defense of the ICAN-ngr, let me speak now. For quite some time, some apologists of quackery have been striving to establish more professional accountancy and related bodies as if that's the antidote to the nation's social, economic, and development challenges. Rather than confront people-oriented policies, the Parliament is made to strenuously spend valuable time to replicate bodies which will perform functions already being discharged by existing self-financing statutory bodies. In my considered view, we cannot rationalize the creation of more accountancy and allied bodies on the altar of commercial expediency and at the expense of the overall national interest and commitments to professional excellence. Capacity building to the secretariats. Let me acknowledge on behalf of Council the commitment and dedication of staff to the cause of the profession and the Institute. In line with external policy, Council will continue to reward excellent performance and commitment to the ideals of the Institute, while inefficiency will also be sanctioned. I therefore urge all members of staff to continue to discharge their duties in line with the standards and expectations of Council. As the powerhouse of the Institute, deliberate efforts will be made during the year to enhance the capacity of the Secretariat to continue to support the Council. Pursuant to this, the quality of manning of various functions will be revisited with a view to achieving best fit and increased productivity. To reinforce the foregoing, the Institute will partner with the Big Four accounting firms. I hope the managing partners are here and they are listening to us. IFAC and ICANngr to leverage their technical competencies and experiences to build the capacity of our Secretariat. This may take the form of staff secondment by these bodies on pro bono basis to help ICAN strengthen its technical capacity. The key objective of this move is to ensure that the Institute provides world-class services to her growing membership. To reinforce this, the Secretariat's reward system will be reviewed such that high-performing staff are adequately compensated. Given the new way of doing things post-COVID-19, there's no doubt that technology will be everything in an institute like ICAN. Consequently, the competencies of our employees will be tested, and where such IT skills gaps exist, we will expend resources to train and retrain our staff to develop the needed competencies to carry out their functions. I believe that if we give the right training, we will get a more productive workforce to help the Council function properly. External relations. As a professional body that functions within an integrated global environment, our standards and practices are influenced largely by internationally accepted norms and best practices. During the presidential year, ICAN intends to become more active and relevant by playing visible roles within the accountancy profession in the continent and sub-regions. Pursuant to this, the Institute will continue to maintain its membership of and play active roles in the International Federation of Accountants, the Association of Accountancy Bodies in West Africa, Association of Professional Bodies of Nigeria, and the Financial Reporting Council of Nigeria as a way of strengthening its network of technical information. Efforts will be made to take the actual exams to other African countries which need the middle-level accountancy support. We will also strive to maintain excellent working relationship with regulatory authorities such as the Central Bank of Nigeria, Nigerian Deposit Insurance Corporation, Securities and Exchange Commission, the Nigerian Stock Exchange, Corporate Affairs Commission, Federal Inland Revenue Services, the Nigerian Extraction Industries Transparency International, Nigerian National Insurance Corporation of Nigeria, and the National Pension Commission. Appreciation. Let me end this address stroke acceptance speech by admitting with all sense of modesty that the success story we are celebrating today was neither achieved on a platter of gold nor by my own efforts. I therefore wish to profoundly express my deepest appreciation to all my professional colleagues for this great honor and show of confidence in my ability to lead this great institute from the front. In 3.5 decades of my professional career, you have individually and collectively inspired, encouraged, and spurred me on, so much so that since 2007, when I first won an election to council, I have continued to retain my seat on this august body as successive elections, held every 3 years. From the depth of my heart, I say to you, this is a collective success, moment of glory and a chance to make history. They have all been wonderful. Thank you most sincerely. To my esteemed colleagues on council, the challenging moments we shared, the intellectual and professional arguments and discourse we had have greatly prepared me for the arduous task ahead. While thanking you in advance for your usual cooperation, invaluable support, and unwavering commitment, I dare say that together we will take the institute and accountancy profession to the next level. I trust that in the days, weeks, and months ahead, you will stand by me as we evolve a befitting future for our profession and our institute. To all my well-wishers, too numerous to mention, I am very appreciative of your individual and collective support that made this day a reality. May the good Lord also crown your activities with resounding success. With reverence, let me acknowledge the remarkable roles played in my professional socialization process by all past presidents. Indeed, you all left your comfort zone to blaze the trail in accounting excellence and passed on to us this flag of honor and a banner without stain. From your selfless toils, the Institute toils mightily on the solid rock of integrity and excellence. Time it was when some of you had to pay the subscription of the Institute to IFAC to sustain our global visibility because it could not immediately raise the money. Without doubt, your enviable pioneering role and priceless sacrifice have made our careers sublime. We cannot thank all of you enough for laying the foundation for today's epoch. We pray that God bless and grant you longevity of life in good health. Your footprints in the sands of time will remain evergreen. Very especially, I would like to record the invaluable encouragement given to by Mr. Itoya Emmanuel Idewere, FCA, Princess Agnes Adeniran, FCA, Otumba Latif Owoyemi, FCA, Chief FK Bajobo, FCA, and Chief Mrs. Adekite, FCA, to my professional development. I owe these past presidents a great debt of gratitude for their support, counsel, and words of wisdom. They are always there for me as stabilizing facts first. Permit me to also specially express my gratitude to past presidents, Professor Francis Ojaide, FCA, Kabiru Mohammed, FCA, Chidi Ajebu, FCA, Titus Tueto, FCA, and Ismaila Zakari, FCA, for their contributions to the success story of today. While the first three gave me the opportunities to serve as their honorary treasurer, the King Titus Tueto proposed me to the BOPP, and the council subsequently elected me as the second deputy vice president. While the actual journey to the ICAN presidency commenced under the leadership of Malam Ismaila Zakari, FCA. Under their guidance, I learned a great deal about the workings and intricacies of council and the institute. They could not continue to bless their endeavors. A special mention must be made in Owama FCA, nominated me to the IFAC board as technical advisor. He said, and I quote, because when this exercise started, I strongly rejected the offer, but let me quote what he said to me in one of our arguments. Onome, I am looking at a succession program for ICAN, and I want to ensure the institute is always represented at the global level. Indeed, it is not about you, but about the future relevance of ICAN at the international level, end of quote. General Massa, I thank you most sincerely for your objectivity and visionary leadership and passion for the ICAN brand. By the grace of God, your wish to keep ICAN at the international level of IFAC will be met at all times by your council. Now, to my constituency, Swan, up Swan. Yes, the leadership of Swan must today take my heartfelt appreciation. I know I've taken your time, but I wish to thank these great women who impacted my life so positively that I'm today privileged to be elected the 55th president of ICAN. In 1980, I saw the photograph of late H.R.A. Bola Dorcas Kufuridi Olubi on the front page of the Guardian newspaper as the chairman of BWAC VYD. I read her story and said to myself, be like her. The rest is history. The pedigree of Olutoyin Olakure FCA inspired me considerably too. Princess Agnes Adeniran FCA had consistently giving me opportunities to serve. She teaches me something new every day. I sit with her up to today to drink from her fountain of knowledge and wisdom. Mrs. Ibiroke Oshiemi FCA, who finds time to draw my attention to my shortcomings with love. I must confess, those little but important details have made a lot of difference in my life. Elizabeth, the FCA, the founder and engine room of Swanty today, made me her secretary. She so much discipline with me, and people wonder how I get on. Mrs. Margaret Tunubu, under whom I serve as Swan ESCO, as second vice chairman. And last but certainly not the least, Mrs. Adebola, who handed over to me as the Swan chairperson. These are great women who positively impacted me all the way in my journey to the top. I can only say thank you, Ma, for all adding great value to my life. May God bless and reward you all richly. Let me also now go to my family and home front. As you sit here today, my siblings are here. Some of them are here physically, and some of them are online. I want to thank my sister, Barrister Florence Wogu, who is online with us here. My brother, they call him Richman C.Y. Obude. I want to thank you. I want to thank my brother, Ikus Masa. I want to thank my brother, Julius Okoro, who are here physically, and my sisters who are watching me online outside this place. May God bless you all, Dr. Kome and Pastor Tina Ogedegbe. I want to thank my wonderful and sweet mother, Madam Rachel Igor, who raised me with a very stern hand. Her watchwords were integrity, hard work, and appreciation. You will be beaten if you wake up in the morning and didn't say good morning to her. You will be beaten if you don't bring back the correct change for money given to you and document your expenses. You will be beaten if she sees any item in your suitcase from school that is not that she did not buy for you. You have a lot of questions to answer. She starts calling you thief, oh thief. You really have to explain yourself. You will be beaten if you come second in class. You will beat you. You have no reason to come second. You must come first. When I look back today, I thank God for a mother like her. Thank you, Mom, for all your prayers and words of wisdom. I also want to appreciate my surrogate father, Chief J. Ogedegbe, who ensured I got the best of Western education despite all odds. Thank you, Daddy, for being there for me. I also want to thank all my sisters I've mentioned for their contributions and support and help for me as I was growing up. Let me thank my Fidelity Bank family, please. My chairman and my MDs and colleagues on the board of Fidelity Bank. They allowed me to get away with everything that is related to ICAN. They saw beyond Fidelity Bank work. I spent their time, I spent their resources to further the interest of the. I am most grateful. And to the Church of God and my Abati family, I just want to thank you for all your prayers and support over the years. To all my spiritual fathers watching this live stream, I say God bless your ministries. To my director and vicar general who handled the spiritual part of this program, I say thank you, sirs, because COVID-19 could not stop us. God bless you all. I also want to particularly thank Barrister Nero Ide, who is here today to swear me in. He has been my childhood friend. We grew up together. And when I invited him just how many days ago, he said he will leave everything he's doing today and show up. Thank you, Nero, for coming to join us. Thank you, my brother, his fellow legal colleague, for being here to help in this exercise. Now, to my wonderful children, Mrs. Olu, Uncle, as I call my son, and my president baby, Irolu Abdullahi. Thank you for being there for me and making me proud all the time. My dear Oreolua Olalu, who is also my professional colleague today, and my son, Emamoke Olugbenga Olalu, I cannot thank you all enough. Despite all the times I left you to go on ICAN journeys, you all still turned out very successful. Most school homeworks were done over the telephone. I always came late for parents' days and could not attend most PTA meetings, but you all still soared like the eagle, and you have made me a proud mother. Thank you for your understanding. God bless you all. Unfortunately, I'm not able to see most of the people that are online with us today, but I know that a lot of my friends, schoolmates, childhood friends, my relations are online. I want to thank all of you for coming to honor me. The secretarial staff, yes, we have disagreements, we quarrel, we fight, but I know that it's been a wonderful journey since 2007 when I came to the ICAN family. Never mind my challenges, never mind my question, is it in the budget I will not pay? It is all in the interest of the Institute. I thank you all for your support, and I really call for more support as we go on in this, my last phase of this journey. And for the big masquerade, my darling husband, Engineer Adeyemi Olusoya Adewuli. I think Jude Ego has given him a title this morning, Husband of Chartered Accountant, HCA. But he hasn't written exam, so I don't know how we let him go away with it. You know, we are accuracy and integrity, Chartered Accountants. So my husband, where do I start from? Darling, I met the most patient but firm gentleman in my whole life when I met you. I just want to tell the whole world that I deeply appreciate you for your understanding. Thank you for accommodating all the late night calls on ICAN and SWAN matters. You never complained. Even when the phone rings and rings, you say, pick your phone. And when I say, no, I want to say, it must be ICAN, pick the phone. Thank you for your understanding. Thank you for ordering all your annual travel calendar to suit my ICAN travel plan. Actually, at the beginning of every year, he will say to me, let us see where you ICAN people want to go so that I have to plan my own holiday to match your own. Thank you so very much. It takes a man with a large heart to be able to tolerate and do such things. I am grateful. Thank you for standing in the gap for me. Thank you for standing in the gap for me anytime the need arises and I'm out of the unofficial trips or on ICAN events. I pray the good Lord bless and prosper the works of your hands, bless your children, and grant all your heart desires. My promise to you is I will always love, cherish, and remain loyal to you. Thank you again for being the all-round perfect friend, brother, father, and husband that you are to me. Your labor of love will never be in vain. Amen. Conclusion. Your Excellencies, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, let me conclude by reiterating the words of Inaugural that says the history of progress is written in the blood of men and women who dared to espouse an unpopular cause. Many of the things that we might embark on this 12 months may be unpopular, but their benefits will ultimately validate our action and our intent. As a country, we will stand up and counted in the battle for the renaissance of the nation's social values. In word and action, integrity and the common good will be our watch. We will continually have our eyes on the ball and think of the big picture. Hopefully, at the end of my tenure, I will pass on to my successor a banner without stain. As I conclude, I must say, as an institute, we feel the pains of our members and other stakeholders whose businesses have been affected by the current crisis. This is indeed not the best time for individuals and businesses. Our sincere wish as an institute is that this phase will become and businesses will begin to face again. I thank you all, my dear, all for listening. Stay safe and God bless you all. Long live the Institute of Chartered Accountants of Nigeria. Long live the Federal Republic of Nigeria. Thank you.
You may be seated. My chairman of BOPP, permit me, she's just trying to getting used to the fact that she's the president now. Thank you, Madam President. You can agree with me that this was a quite complete speech. So many things to achieve. And let me assure you, Madam, that we at the Secretariat we'll do our best to ensure that most of the goals you set will be achieved during your presidential year. Thank you so much. For the work of exhortation, may I now invite Venerable Colonel Moses Abonale, PhD, Acting Director of Chaplain Services, Nigerian Army, to present on the word of exhortation. Venerable, you have the floor, sir.
Let us pray. Our God and our Father, all for this day, we appreciate you for being with us from the beginning of this program to this hour. For the gift of this day and for the leadership of ICAN. As we speak your word out, speak through me to your people. Word of encouragement, word of hope, word of future. That in all case, the world will have impact in our life. Truth and the power of the truth in your word shall set us free. This we ask through the same Jesus Christ, our Lord. Amen. First and foremost, we actually express our profound gratitude to God Almighty for the gift of life and the privilege to witness this joyous occasion despite the current COVID-19 pandemic. We rejoice with the immediate past president, Mazi Nnamdi Okwu-Adigbo, for his successful and remarkable term in office as the president of ICAN. Sir, may God reward your labor of love and grant you more good health and sound mind on this planet Earth to witness more good things in your home and family. Amen. Special congratulations to the celebrant of today, Dame Mrs. Onome Joy Adewi, the 56th President of the Institute of Chartered Accountants of Nigeria, ICAN for short. Ma, may God Almighty grant you that which it takes to succeed in this position you have just occupied. We pray for divine wisdom,
yes, I'm still on Zoom.
knowledge, and understanding to excel in this prestigious office in Jesus' mighty name. I equally congratulate Engineer Adeyemi Olusanya Adewi and the entire family of Onome. I especially congratulate our beloved brother, Engineer Adewi, for the qualification you have just bagged during the course of this infectious program. Husband of Chartered Accountant, ACA for short. Sir, congratulations to you. Honestly, man, you are coming on board at this challenging season of coronavirus pandemic, of which the aftermath will definitely lead to an upcoming recession globally. Hence, there's no better time than this that ICAN will be needful to provide suggested solutions to the unavoidable global economic challenges envisaged, which your acceptance as well as inaugural speech has captured. I'm very, very glad to hear all this as your plan as you enter into the office. The grace to do all this, God will grant unto you in Jesus' name. This leads us to the theme of this church exhortation, a call to serve. A call to serve. And the text of our meditation is taken from Acts of the Apostle, chapter 20, verse 19a. Acts of the Apostles, chapter 20, verse 19a. And I read, serving the Lord with all humility of mind. Herein, Apostle Paul, while addressing the Ephesians elders, he appreciated their good works and encouraged them to serve the Lord the more with humility and commitment. These were leaders of the Church of God at Ephesus, just as we are ICAN president today. They did very well, but Apostle Paul still encouraged them to intensify their service to humanity with all humility. This is equally applicable to you as you have just stepped into the office. So, dear man, indeed, you have served humanity at various categories in the banking sector, and there is no doubt you have done it religiously and faithfully, which cumulated to what you are today. Once more, congratulations, man. Going through your profile, as read by Mr. Judes, Tony Egbo, FCA, there's no doubt that you have all that it takes to serve in this honorable capacity. And as such, I acknowledge you to be more committed, dedicated, and serve in all humility. The grace to do this, I pray the Lord will grant unto you in Jesus' name. The wise says, a tree cannot make a forest. Therefore, I encourage you to have all-inclusive administration, carrying other people along, leading by example in fear of God and in togetherness, achieving your set goal as enumerated in your inaugural speech. Remember, the scripture in Colossians chapter 3, verse 23 says, and I quote, whatsoever you do it wholeheartedly as unto the Lord and not unto men. Unquote. I admonish you, man, not to be men pleasers, to discharge your duties as expected of you in line with the aims and the purpose to functions of ICAN. I pray God will grant you the enablement to do all this in Jesus' name. To you, other executive members, and the ICAN family at large, kindly give her all necessary advice, support, and uphold her in your fervent prayer for her to succeed maximally. Remember, our success is success to all of us, and our failure is the failure of all us. I pray we shall all be successful in all our daily endeavors.
Who is here?
God, the scripture says,
Good morning.
for God is not unjust to forget your work and labor of love. Hebrews chapter 6, verse 10. Dear people of God, the current situation ravaging the world at large, as witnessed by all of us and enumerated in our ICAN President Inaugural speech, call for our collective prayers and closeness to God. No doubt, we are in the perilous time, and Christ is coming very soon. Today's happening are end-time events. We need not to be worried. We need not to be caught unaware. It is an indication for you and I to get prepared for the end of the war. In Matthew chapter 24, verses 3 to 7, this is clearly stated as signs of the end time. Because of our time, permit me to read only verse 7. He says, for nation will rise against nation, and kingdom against kingdom, and there will be famines and pestilence and earthquake in diverse places. Today, we are witness all this coming to fulfillment. They are the signs, pointer of the end time. These are great prayer that God will see us through in Jesus' name. It's indeed my honest prayer that the Lord will grant us the spirit to serve Him and humanity faithfully, and at the end, be acceptable with Him through the same Jesus Christ, our Lord. Once again, on behalf of the Christian community in the Barrack of Protestant Faith of Nigerian Army, we rejoice with you, Mama, and your entire team. We wish you well in your endeavors, and that by the time you are coming down now, you want to fulfill your tenure in office, you all have the cause to say, Ebenezer, unto this age, the Lord has helped me. I pray that shall be your testimony in Jesus' name. Let us pray. Lord God, we return thanks and praise unto you for this day and for the message that you have sent to your people. Give us the ability to go out and put it to practice. We pray especially for your daughter and her team. Lead, guide, and direct them aright. That this word we have had today will not stand against any of us. But through this word, we will know more of your truth. And the power of the truth in your word can set us free. This is our prayer with thanksgiving. For we pray in Jesus' name.
The Acting Director, Chaplain Services of the Nigerian Army. My 56th President, it is now time that you take over the meeting, ma'am. And therefore, hand over the proceedings of the meeting to you, ma'am.
Yeah, thank you very much, Registrar Chief Executive. I think this is my second formal assignment. Please forgive me if I miss any of the protocols. We are still learning. I would like at this point to invite the first Deputy Vice President, Mrs. Comfort Olujumoke Eyitayo, MNIFCA, to please give us the vote of thanks.
Speak a bit louder.
The 56th President of our great institute, Mrs. Onome Joy Adewuyi, Chairman of Body of Past President and other revered past presidents here present, please permit me to lean on the already well-established protocol to save our time. To have been asked to propose a vote of thanks on this unique occasion. We give glory to God for the successful end of one tenure and the emergence of another tenure seamlessly, a feat which has become a hallmark and tradition for our great institute. Today's event is the Lord's doing, and it is marvelous in our sight. I wish to specially congratulate once again the brand new 56th president of this great institute, Dame Onome Joy Adewuyi, BSc, MSc, ACPIN, FCIB, FCA. I, Comfort Olu Eyitayo, MNI FCA, the first Deputy Vice President of ICAN, do hereby, on behalf of the President, Mrs. Onome Joy Adewuyi, members of the Governing Council, and the entire membership of Institute of Chartered Accountants of Nigeria, ICAN, extend a very hearty vote of thanks to everyone present, physically or virtually, gracing today's investiture. Sharing the joy of today with you has indeed made it more memorable for our president and the entire council of ICAN. We are also grateful to all distinguished guests who have decided to join us remotely at this historic occasion in spite of all odds. Specifically, we are grateful to the Honorable Minister of Education and the Supervising Minister of ICAN, Malam Adamu, for the support we have enjoyed from the ministry over the years. My Lord, spiritual and temporal, you are all recognized. We thank you for being part of another history being made by our noble institute. I would like to felicitate with and recognize the presence, physically or virtually, of family members and friends of the 56th President of ICAN as they share in the pleasure and joy of the moment. I especially recognize and appreciate the best half of our president, Engineer Adeyemi Olusoya Adewuyi, and the children. Ifeolu Abdullahi, Mohammed Abdullahi, Oreoluwa Olaolu, Imamoke Olaolu. We say thank you very much for adding much color to this event. Special thanks goes to the doyen of accountancy profession in Nigeria, Mr. Akitola Williams, CBE, CFR, BCom, FCA, for the good legacies laid down for us to follow. We wish him good health to enjoy the rest of his life. Ladies and gentlemen, it may interest you to know that Doyen celebrated his centenary birthday in August 2019. What a blessing for his family and pride for us as ICAN. The chairman body of past presidents of ICAN, Dr. Emmanuel Itoya Ijewere, FCA, and the entire members of the body, our dear revered past presidents of ICAN, we are very grateful. Thank you for the consistent support and role played in ensuring continuity and progress of the Institute. We thank you for giving us your shoulders to lean on every now and then. As a new presidential year begins today, we believe we can count on your support as usual and prayers as our new president takes on the baton of leadership to take ICAN to greater heights. I recognize the immediate past president of ICAN, Mazi Nnamdi Okwadibu, FCA. No doubt your leadership skills added immensely to the resilience displayed by ICAN in the midst of the current crisis. Thank you very much, sir. I acknowledge my colleagues on the Governing Council of ICAN here present and those that joined us online. Thank you for your support at all times and the spirit of camaraderie that makes the achievement of council enduring. No doubt, this is a special event for us, and I'm sure you all are elated just as I am, basking in the glory of the moment. I appreciate our grassroots leaders, the district societies and chapters chairmen for their tireless efforts in reaching out, representing and upholding the image of the Institute at their various localities. By the same token, I appreciate all our members for their continuous support of the Council's humble efforts in projecting ICAN better and forward despite daunting challenges in and out of the country. I want to appreciate loudly the Society of Women Accountants of Nigeria, SWAN, a very important part of ICAN, for the continuous supportive role for all ICAN programs. Up SWAN, up SWAN. Thank you, ladies, for your support always. You are the best. Amen. Don't be jealous. You are always our pillars. We recognize you. The Registrar Chief Executive of ICAN, Professor Ahmed Kumshe, FCA. Thank you for your able leadership of the Institute Secretariat. Within the short space of time, since you mounted the saddle of leadership, you have demonstrated capability and proved that you are poised to take the Institute to a higher level for service delivery to its teeming membership. Thank you for ably leading your team to put this special event together within the shortest possible time. I also would like to recognize and appreciate past registrar chief executives of ICAN that are present here physically or online for their efforts in laying good foundation for the smooth running of the secretariat over the years. We say thank you, sirs. The representatives of the various international accounting bodies that are watching this investiture, in particular, the International Federation of Accountants, IFAC, Chartered Accountants Worldwide, CAW, the Pan-African Federation of Accountants, PAFA, and the Association of Accountancy Bodies in West Africa, ABUA. We say thank you for your solidarity. Presidents and registrar chief executives of other professional bodies, we acknowledge your honoring our invitation and thank you immensely for identifying with us today. We are grateful to captains of industries here present and joining online, managing directors, so chief executives of banks and other financial institutions, partners of the Big Four and other accounting firms. We are greatly indebted to you. Thank you. This vote of thanks will not be complete without appreciating the commitment of ICAN management and staff that has ensured the success of this program. They have actually gone beyond the call of duty, especially at this challenging time in our world. I say thank you, ladies and gentlemen. I thank the gentlemen of the press for joining us physically today and those that are joining remotely in their large numbers, especially for the anticipated good coverage for this event. Once again, I thank all and encourage you to continue to stay safe as we pray that this trying time will soon become history. I want an amen to that. I think thank you. I wish you all safety on your journey homewards and Godspeed in all your future endeavors. God bless the Institute of Chartered Accountants of Nigeria. God bless Lagos State Government. God bless the Federal Republic of Nigeria. Thank you all.
Thank you, Madam First Deputy Vice President. At this junction, we will bring the council meeting to a close by the formal adjournment. May I invite any council member? Unfortunately, I can't see those of us online because I'm not in the Zoom room, but I will invite any of the council member here to please move for adjournment and someone to second that adjournment from council. All right.
I, Gaddafi.
I, will welcome the a motion for the adjournment of the meeting for the investiture of 56 ICAN president. Thank you. Please, can we have a seconder? For adjournment of this investiture of our joint president. Thank you very much. So this meeting officially now stands adjourned. I will hand over to the registrar, the chief executive, to close us. Okay.
Thank you, my president. Before we take the closing prayer, I'm going to play the Hallelujah. Let's play the Hallelujah chorus. Let's sing together.
How's your way? It's still near you. I can't come near you.
prayer cross was sung by the choir of all saints. And to set the records clear, you can see that it's a recorded video to ensure that, just to tell you that the social distancing has been complied. Looking at the video, you might see that they are doing it live, but it's a recorded videos and all video. Thank you. So may I invite Honorable Moses Abolanle to the closing prayer.
Let us pray. Almighty and eternal God, the beginning and the end of all things, we return our thanks and praise unto thee for starting this event with us, and hitherto you have seen us through. Thank you for all that you are able to accomplish during the course of this event. We appreciate you for all that have participated in one way or the other, and for you to take preeminence. We return Lord thanks and praise unto thee, O Lord. As the council adjourn now after the first exercise, we commit all of us to your hands. Some will go back to their various homes, while they will continue their business of the council. We pray you, O Lord, you will lead, guide, and direct us aright in all our doings. Most especially in this new month of June that you have started. May the month be month of blessing, month of hope, month of fulfillment, month of grace, and month of favor. That at the end, we all return thanks and praise unto your holy name. We thank you, Lord, for our country, Nigeria, that you will lead our leaders. You will guide and direct them. You will heal our land and the world at large. That all of us will come out of these challenges to the glory and honor of your name. We pray for your daughter who has just been installed, and she will require knowledge, wisdom, understanding. Bestow all this unto our Lord and active ministry. Make her to be fulfilled in life. Bless her personal life and her home. Bless her marriage and bless everything concerning her. Bless ICAN as a whole, the past presidents, and those that in one way or the other have contributed their quota. May their labor of love never be in vain. Thank you, Lord, for seeing us through in all things. May we continue to enjoy your grace, both now and forevermore. And unto God, gracious mercy, loving kindness, protection, we commit ourselves. May the Lord bless us and keep us. May the Lord make his face to shine upon us and be gracious unto us. And the peace of God Almighty, the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit, be among us and remain with us all. Amen.
Thank you. This session is formally closed. However, we have just a few announcements. Well, this program will be aired on various television stations, including Channels TV, which will be aired at 8 p.m. this night. We also want to apologize if during the course of these proceedings we didn't spell your names correctly, or we didn't recognize you because we're in the Zoom. We were not able to recognize and see everybody present. So apologies for that and also other technical glitches. We are going to have a photograph session, and we are going to observe the social distancing, taking the pictures, except when she's taking with her family, nucleus family, there is no social distancing on that. Then the council, special council, will be resume after an hour to continue with the business. Refreshments will be available as you step out of this council chambers. Thank you. Thank you, everyone.
Speed. Speed. As we struggle here. Sorry? You have your Sorry.
non-payment charge. But I've been available to us.
What? That's what it says on Hello. You say maybe you can't take her. The teacher. Nami, you don't know me. Okay. Oh yeah, please.